Edo State Police Command of the Nigeria Police Force has confirmed the killing of one person at Ulouke community, at Uzairue clan, near Iyamho, the hometown of Edo State former governor and the current senator representing Edo North at the Nigeria National Assembly, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, when armed men invaded the community on Monday, kidnapping a woman and her sister, after shooting the woman's husband at the scene of the invasion. According to the police, a combined team of police and men of the Edo State Vigilante went after the kidnappers, and succeeded in rescuing the woman and her sister on Friday, but the husband was pronounced dead after he was rushed to the hospital. Ulouke is one of the 21 villages or towns that made up Uzairue clan, which includes Jatu, Afawa, Alele, Ogbido, Iukana, Iua, Iyuku, Imheke, Afashio, Iyora, Apana, Imhonike, Yelwa, Oza, Ikabigbo, Adato, Ugbena, Arekpai, Iyogwiri and Iyamho, where Adams Oshiomhole hails from. Statement from the Edo State Police Command reads verbatim in quote below. The Edo State Police Command has rescued another 2 kidnapped victims on the 18th of April 2025 at about 21:15 hours, demonstrating its commitment to tackle criminality in the state. This is further to a case which was reported on the 14th of April 2025 at the Divisional Police Headquarters, Iyamho, where a woman and her sister were kidnapped after shooting and fatally wounding the woman's husband at Ulouke community. The injured man was rushed to the hospital, where he was confirmed dead by a medical doctor on duty. In a swift response, the DPO, anti-kidnapping team stationed at Edo North, and Operation Rescue in company of vigilantes, hunters mobilized and went after the kidnappers in order to rescue the victims and arrest the kidnappers. The resilience and determination of the operatives led to the rescue of the 2 women, namely, Esther Friday 32 years and Joy Regbayan 23 years, whom the kidnappers abandoned and ran away because of the mounting pressure by the security teams. Unfortunately, the kidnappers shot one of the women on the foot out of frustration, but she is currently responding to treatment. Meanwhile, the indefatigable Commissioner of Police, CP Monday Agbonika, is working assiduously on strategies that would curb further crime and deter criminals, the police stated as contained in the news release signed and made available by the Command Public Relations Officer, Moses Iyamho, on Saturday. In a related development, the police command has rescued 10 kidnapped victims who were students traveling to Babcock University for an annual program. The command wishes to update the general public of the unfortunate kidnap of some students who were on their way to Babcock University for annual GYC Africa Conference on the 16th of April 2025 at a location bordering Edo and Ondo states. On receipt of this information, the Commissioner of Police, CP Monday Agbonika, immediately deployed operatives of the Ohosu Division, IRT, tactical teams alongside vigilantes and hunters into the bushes for possible rescue of the victims and arrest of suspects. During the operation, operatives engaged in a gun duel with the Lagos State Police Command of the Nigeria Police Force in a very long press statement over its alleged false armed robbery accusation and detaining of a said minor. Quadri Yusuf Alabi claimed it acted on the basis of thorough investigation, but in its long statement on Saturday, the police command could not state any substance or reasonability linking the said minor to the crime, even when the police command claimed some members of the Amukoko community that identified the suspected armed robbers and street fighters were robbed of their belongings. This could have offered the police the opportunity to know if the suspected persons were rightful or wrongful, because, in the course of investigation, the police is expected to have been able to present or state 1 or 2 of the stolen items that was found in possession or connection of the arrested suspects, but, judging from the police statement, shows, the police did not do its work. Instead, it shifted its responsibility to the court by thus packing group of apparent innocent people to the court, for the court to decide for itself if the suspects are really what the police think they are. For the purpose of clarification, no matter the large numbers of people who may have made allegations against a particular person or persons, the investigative officer, either a journalist, intelligence or police officer must consider such statements or accusations as hypothetical or tentative statements that could be proved right or wrong after empirical validations of facts, because human beings can conspire together in large numbers to make false allegations knowingly and unknowingly against a person or persons for a reason best known to them. Also, criminally minded people do lobby or coordinate people to deliberately make false accusations against their perceived enemy or enemies. This may explain why an investigative officer must be above board in the course of investigation by thus coming out with substance or reasonability beyond mere statements. Details of the Lagos State Police Command press release is signed and made available by its spokesperson, Benjamin Hunde, and reads verbatim below. The Lagos State Police Command is aware of public concerns surrounding the case of Alabi Quadri, an 18-year-old who was remanded to correctional service following his involvement in violent attacks, public disturbance, causing extensive damage to public and private properties, and injuries to persons standing by in the Amukoko area of Lagos State earlier this year. 2. On January 22, 2025 to be precise, a serious breach of public peace and extensive damage to public and private properties occurred in Amukoko when groups of youths engaged in violent confrontations that escalated into street fights for all, causing widespread violence, panic, and chaos. During the chaos, a number of innocent passers-by were reported to have been robbed and injured. 3. In response, police officers of the command immediately launched an investigation into the incident. More crucial information was provided by members of the community, some of whom witnessed the incident and recognized several individuals involved. Victims of the robbery also came forward to give statements and positively identified the perpetrators. 4. Following a thorough and transparent investigation, Alabi Quadri and 4 others were arrested and charged to court in former governor of Anambra State and the presidential candidate of Labour Party in the last concluded Nigeria general elections. Peter Obi has met with the detained minor, Quadri Yusuf Alabi, an underage child who spent months in prison after some men of the Nigeria police force allegedly conspired together with some members of the Amukoko community in Lagos State, and fabricated armed robbery allegations against the said 17-year-old little boy who came into fame at the wee hours to the 2023 presidential elections, when he stood boldly with his 2 hands widely opened in front of the convoy of the then Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi. This, Alabi, who was discharged and freed by a Lagos magistrate court on April 17, 2025, had spent nearly 3 months at the Medium Security Custodial Center in Kirikiri after being falsely accused of armed robbery, a charge which the Lagos State Director of Public Prosecutions later found to be baseless. Peter Obi, in a statement on Friday after meeting the little boy, said, "Today, I had the opportunity to meet with Quadri Yusuf Alabi, the young boy whose story moved us all. After enduring unjust and illegal incarceration, he is finally free. And I am very grateful to the lawyers led by Iyamho Effiong, who fought for his release, and also Dele Faratimi and Muz Hassana Nuruddin, whose constant intervention was instrumental in securing justice for the young lad. I listened to Quadri today, and one thing stood out clearly: his unwavering desire for education. Despite all he has been through, his only dream is to return to school and complete his education, and I will make sure he gets it. His determination is not just inspiring, it is a call to action, and I am committed to ensuring that he gets the education he desires and deserves. In addition, we must not stop at his release. Those responsible for his illegal incarceration must be held accountable. As we strive to build a Nigeria where fairness and integrity prevail, we cannot afford to allow such acts of criminality to go unpunished. I once again thank the lawyers and everyone who stood and remained unrelenting for justice. Together, we will build a Nigeria where education, freedom, rule of law, equity and justice, care and protection of the less privileged in our midst will stand as the foundation of our democracy." Meanwhile, the human rights lawyer, Iyamho Effiong, who stood in defense of the little boy's release on Thursday, has demanded the sum of 100 million naira and public apology from the Nigeria police force as compensation for unlawful detention and false accusation. In a statement after the court set Quadri Yusuf Alabi free, Iyamho Effiong stated that, "We are excited to announce that Quadri Yusuf Alabi, the 17-year-old teenager who gained fame during the 2023 elections after he spontaneously jumped and stood in front of the convoy of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has been freed by the court today, the 17th of April 2025. Our client, Quadri, was abducted by two area boys, who are notoriously known in the community as Liege and Baba Waris, close to his family residence at Amukoko, Uzairue, Ifalo."
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.